Hey everybody, welcome back to Wasted Attentions podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Killswitch Engage's Alive or Just Breathing. Over on my right, I am joined by JD.
What's up?
And in front of me, I have Ivan.
How's it going?
We're doing good, man. We're doing good. For the people out there that are wondering why the hell are we going to review an album that's like almost 20 fucking years old, with the new single being released off of the upcoming album, we thought that we would kind of go back and do a little retro review. Just to kind of put it out there, the new song that was released recently is called Unleashed, and the album's name will be called Atonement. It will be out on August 16th through Metal Blade Records. Good God. It's interesting, though. You guys have both listened to the song, right?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah? I think lyrically it's going to kind of be a little bit of a sneak peek into what we're going to expect.
I'm surprised they used this one as like the first single.
Why is that?
Because it doesn't seem... It's not where I would take the album... You know, if I was, I don't know what to expect from this album, but it's, I think you'd want to come out hard or just something that, wow, they're doing that.
Right.
This sounds like a kind of standard Killswitch for me.
You think so?
Yeah.
How about
I feel
you?
what you're saying.
Yeah?
I feel like it could fit on Incarnate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like usually if you're going to pop out your first single, you just want to bring it.
Right.
And be like,
Yeah.
this is what we're doing this time.
Yeah, it's usually the hardest of the hard.
Or maybe they're just saving it for later.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking that too. Maybe it's just to throw you off a little bit.
Could be.
Kind of easy in.
Gotcha. Well, definitely it'll be. Already it's being played on Sirius, but it's going to be a
yeah.
commercial.
It popped
I was listening.
Yeah.
I listened to it a few times yesterday, and I was like, "Man, the verse part sounds like Blondie's "Call Me." Call on me, I'll call you. He just does a different ending. It's a little bit slower down. I was like, every time I hear it, that's what I think of
Wow.
now.
That's interesting. I
When you go
never
back-
put that together.
Now,
Just the
it's gonna-
melody.
I'm
I'm
hear
gonna
that
fuck with you
every
guys.
time.
It's gonna ruin it.
I don't know. I'll tell you right now that Jesse sounds good, man. He's pronouncing everything clearly. It's
I got a lot
crisp.
to say.
Oh, good. Oh, no.
About old school Jesse. It's gonna sound more negative, but we'll get into the details. Though.
Jesse has always been my favorite.
Really?
Forever, dude.
Yeah?
Yes.
No
With
kidding.
Lyrics
Mm-hmm.
and the way he portrays
Lyrics
his
and
vocals,
wow.
yes.
This is going to be good. I'm excited to get into this. What I did want to know, I don't know if you guys knew about this, but I dug a little deep. They have the full track listing of Atonement out, and Hojo and Chuck Billy are confirmed to be on the album.
Chuck Billy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Chuck Billy's doing a lot of stuff lately.
He is,
Dude.
man.
He's the man.
Yes.
It's cool that Hojo's coming back because he's done it obviously on, it was on a Heartache, right? On that second track.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Jesse.
Yeah. So it'll be cool to hear him again, obviously. But we'll do a quick little dive. This wasn't like a super in-depth analysis, but I just tried to find what I could about the facts around the album before we jump in here. So obviously this was the second album that was released from the band. Release date was May 21st, 2002 off of Roadrunner Records. God damn, are we old.
Is this the first major one, right?
First major, correct.
The other one's self-released.
Self-released. I believe it was self-titled too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Was it? Okay.
They had two self-titles.
Okay. This was released, or this was starting to be worked on October 1st, 2001, and then they finished up production in February of 2002 sometime. Here's what threw me through the loop. I didn't know this, but that Adam produced this whole entire thing.
This one too?
Yeah.
Really?
This is insane.
God damn.
So it was recorded in Zing Studios in Westfield, Massachusetts. When they first started getting into this and they wanted to record, Adam had already produced a couple of songs and had them recorded. In 2001, during the summertime, he went to Roadrunner with a couple songs. Transfiguration, which is now Fixation on the Darkness, Numbered Days, and Just Barely Breathing. So this motherfucker rolls into Roadrunner, is like, hey, check this out, I produced this. They dug it so much that they said, you know what, you can produce your debut album with us. Because he did
Goddamn.
such a good job on producing it.
That's crazy.
Isn't that? It's nuts.
Straight up.
I got a bone to pick with it, though.
Ooh.
I'm curious.
You want to jump in now?
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
no. Do you?
You-
want-
okay,
okay, go.
I'll
No,
save it, I'll
go
save it, I'll
ahead.
save it,
Go ahead,
I'll
because I
save
thought he had more stuff to do.
No, yeah, go.
Okay.
Go.
So I just wanted to mention that. Also, we knew that he did the drums and he did piano.
Did he record the
He did
drums?
record the
Okay,
drums.
'cause
This is
they
him.
got
That
a
was him.
drummer for the tour, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they moved on to who they have now. So they went through 3 drummers apparently.
Yeah, I remember that on the DVD or something.
Yeah, and this is all Wikipedia facts, so I can't really say, oh, this is for sure, but just interesting. Well, let's just jump into it, man. Let's just go. We're gonna go track by track, kind of say what we have to say. And before this, I want to say that none of us have talked about this to what we're gonna say. So everything here is gonna be completely raw and organic because I don't really know how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
So, track 1, Numbered Days. Who's gonna start it?
I don't have much to say about it. I think it's a cool track, but a lot of these kind of fall into the same kind of feel for me. I feel like there's the heavy part, then like the musically, it's just so obvious. Like here's the singing part, the clean part. I'm just not that impressed with it as I used to be.
Okay, but when it first came out, you liked it.
I liked it, but I was never in love with it.
Okay,
Like, I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, it was good shit back in like when I first got the album. I really dug it, but
Okay,
it's not something that's lingered very much in my playlists and
Okay.
stuff. So
but you, Ivan?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, the first song?
Yeah.
I did too. I think it was a great first track. It kind of set the tone as far as the heaviness. That bass line doesn't get thicker than that song, man. I don't know. And I think now I'm taking you back and I'm kind of trying to reminisce how I felt when I first heard it and then also today with listening to it because I can't tell you the last time I actually sat down recently other than today.
Mm-hmm.
Track 1 through track whatever 12. It's been a long time. But it was funsies.
I feel like I'm gonna be real nitpicky and kind of coming from a negative perspective. But
Have you not listened to this show before? That's you.
That's me in a nutshell.
But then again, this was the
Yeah,
early
yeah,
Killswitch.
exactly.
They were fresh, just starting off, making the mistakes every fresh
Yeah.
musician, signed musician.
I'm just gonna be on the negative side, I guess. I don't know. It's all like it's nothing. I wouldn't give anything on this album less than a 3. You just see how they evolve, though.
Exactly, and they did.
It's like playing old video games. Like some of that shit from like Nintendo, I can't play that shit nowadays. You know what I mean?
Getcha.
So take that with a grain of salt.
I get it.
With my
Well,
opinions.
found our counterbalance for sure. I get it.
There's some retro players that are like,
Right? Yeah, exactly. How dare you? Great opening track. I don't think there's really much else to say. I do get your point though, where we're already kind of setting that heavy chorus, singy back.
Yeah, I guess I could touch more on it as we go along.
Yeah.
Because I think Self-Revolution coming up's... I probably got more to elaborate on.
For sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it. Self-Revolution.
That's my favorite one on the album.
Same exact thing I wrote. 100%.
I think the riffing's better. It's a little bit more involved, more interesting. This one kind of sets itself apart a little bit more. I feel like Jesse's a lot better with the melodies on this one.
He is.
For the clean
is.
singing.
I'll tell you. Well, I don't want to jump into that yet, but I do want to say that I put down this song is everything. The chorus was everything. The music itself too was just so awesome because it kind of broke that metalcore formula, you know. I know how much you guys are gonna love this, but even like the drum pattern coming out of that first chorus was kind of a little bit punky to me, and I thought that was really cool because it was something different. And I have such now a more wide respect for Adam.
well, they're fans of punk.
Are they really? I didn't know that. So I didn't dig that far into it. That's cool. So it clearly
Especially
comes up.
Jesse.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I'm gonna call this the showcase song, meaning someone comes up to me and was like, "Hey, what's a good song I should check out off the album?" That would be mine.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
No.
Yeah, I just as far as like his singing goes, I feel like it's got the most. It's more involved. It's not so coming up. there's some that I'm just not that into.
I get you.
But I think musically and the way that it's singing wise, it blends together better. It's not so cut and dry. Like here's the heavy part, here's the singing part, here's whatever.
Right.
And just, I wish we were doing Heartache because I think it's so much better evolved. Like everything's blended together, and that might be Hojo. Not to make this a Hojo discussion,
Right.
but you could just see how much more he's doing with what he's given. And
Yeah.
then they fall back into to this kind of style where it's more black and white. Again, here's the heavy part, here's the singing part. Like
Right.
on Daylight Dies, I think, and
Yep.
on. So
That's true.
it's my generalization of this album.
I get you. Could wrap it up right here, right?
Yeah.
Ivan, what do you guys say about Self-Revolution?
I love it when he started singing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That always gave me chills.
Yeah.
Like if I'm singing along with it, it's just like Every hair stands out.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one for me.
It's smooth, man. It's smooth. Shout out to the time changes and the time signature on it too. If you guys ever noticed, it's all over the place. The grooves are tasty.
Dude,
too.
I never noticed things, and like even that drum part you just mentioned, I was I gotta open up my fucking ears.
So cool. All right. So far, number days for JD is like meh. Me and Ivan were on board. We're all on board for Self Revolution.
I'm on board for every single song on this album. I'll just say that.
Oh, I
flat
can't wait
out.
till we get after track 5. This is gonna be fun. Fixation on the Darkness. I don't know. This is a very not well known song for Killswitch fans. You know. Go ahead, JD.
I think it's got a cool opening riff, but this one specifically, when they go into the singing part, I was like, oh, it just feels so forced to me.
I get that.
You know what I mean? It's a good, like I said, it's still 3. I just, compared to everything I've heard after this, I can't go back. It's not the same to me.
It's a classic, though. You have to admit for that.
Yeah, like I said, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I just listen to everything else besides this.
Gotcha.
I don't
Ivan.
know why.
I love this song.
I remember being in
song's
the
fucking
basement,
awesome,
and then we would just have Killswitch karaoke, as they said. And
God.
I would just play this riff for him, and then Red and Ivan here would fucking just sing all the songs.
Tear it up.
I think that's a lot of this. It's hard for me to come up with just how I felt listening to it, because I'm getting images of Red's drunken ass like in my head, like singing these or driving with him and him blasting it, or
We'll have to have him do his own little video review.
for sure.
He's
That'd
like,
be
these
interesting.
fucking assholes, man.
Right? Oh, he's gonna rip us apart, man. I want to say,
You guys.
yeah, right. How can you not love this song though? You know, it's got that sing along ability. It's the classic Killswitch. I think it still to this day is a perfect live closer for them to wrap everything up. It just got
I'm
that
just
feel.
thinking about the fucking riff, and I'm like,
And here we go. I actually prefer Hojo's version of this song more than I do Jesse's.
I never listened to it.
nope.
So back, I don't know if it's on YouTube. I'm sure it's on YouTube.
Just stop right now.
But I remember
Get the hell
when Hojo took over on Fuse on one of Mr. Julia's shows, they actually played Jesse's version along with Hojo's version, and they did them side by side with both the audio. And I just remembered at that moment is kind of when I fell in love with Hojo, because his range I think is so much more deeper.
No. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Go ahead. Rebuttal.
See, I'm not saying his version's bad because it's fantastic.
Right.
His cleans are cleaner.
Okay.
But that's where Jesse always shines, is with the dirty cleans, because he always has some like rasp and like kind of.
Yeah,
Like,
you
you know what I
like
mean?
the raspy though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because of that, I like Jesse's better.
I can understand that. That's your style. That's what you dig on that. I just feel, especially coming from a point of view of, I like the real nasty high pitched screaming. I think Hojo's got Jesse, but as far as the clean singing goes, it's sometimes it's a toss up. I want to say Hojo right off the bat, but if Jesse's clean singing like Self Revolution, you can't top that, man. That was fucking sweet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't really truly appreciate Jesse as a vocalist until he came back with Disarmed to Descent. Like I always liked him, but and then even then Hojo had that weird phase too, where he's kind of doing that like muffled kind of like I'm gripping the mic, grabbing.
That's his
Grabbing the
style,
mic
though.
and there you go. That's even better. Cupping the mic,
Yeah.
and it kind of threw a lot of shit I did. Like hearing him live, it was just like okay, it didn't catch me like it used to.
I get you. What was that band that you liked when Jesse came out? It was like 2004, 2005.
Wasn't that the one?
Talking about Jesse's band.
The
Yeah,
Empire one?
they had that
Empire Shall
Seamless
Fall?
song.
Oh, you're talking Seamless. I
Is
think
that-
that's
is that the name of the-
band.
oh, okay.
That's what Red showed me that shit.
Okay.
But yeah,
He has some raspy vocals in
I
there.
think
Yeah.
once you get to like Empire Shall Fall and Seamless, like you said, that's where he starts to kind of like figure his shit out
Gotcha.
as a vocalist, like where he's got the technique to back up what
Right.
he wants to do. Because I think on this album, I can hear the bad technique, and it fucks with me
Yep.
a lot.
I was going to bring that up.
It
because,
feels like
he
his
even-
vocals are shredding.
Yeah, he even said like after every show, like, he was like, "Fuck, how am I going to do the next
Yeah.
day?"
Right.
And he was just screaming his brains out every show, doing it improperly, and that's
You know, you're young. You know, you just
Yeah.
got signed to a major label. And Roadrunner at the time. Can we talk about fucking Roadrunner in
They're
2002?
huge. Man,
Seriously.
that was the label to to get signed to.
Yep, that was it, man. It's kind of crazy. It's sad now that labels don't mean shit in this type of field. You know, it's now you can independently release stuff.
It's really a balance of like what the fuck they can do for you. Like so many people are doing it independent. It really depends on how much you want to give away of your shit.
It's true.
You know
That's
what I
true.
mean? Because on the label side of things, you got to be able to turn some profit, especially with as much as they can do for you if you got the right people around you. But then, I don't know.
You know, they fund your touring and stuff. They
You definitely can't do that fucking 360 deals. You can't let them get your goddamn shirts and merch
Right.
at the place. But
Yep.
you know, all this stories about not making any money off the albums.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as long as you're getting people to the show and the bands out there, I think you could let that go. I think you do 50-50, depending on what you're getting out of it.
That's true. You know, a lot of these major labels are still sticking with obviously their big money hitters. Like look at Slipknot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But still, it's not even like called like the Roadrunner tour. It's called like Knotfest or something. So they're still giving them that creative edge, but they're still part of it.
Yeah, if you can be one of them bands that can kind of handle making your own merch and promoting yourself, then man, you're really a step above everybody.
That's what Machine Head does, right, guys?
They got their 10-ton hammer clothing line or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's got that shit down. As far as the recording of shit goes, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
They're still on a label, ain't it?
I
They have to
Yeah.
be. Because
believe
if I ever got to talk to Rob, that's one thing I would ask him. Like, what is keeping you to a label nowadays? You know what I
Right.
mean? You
That's
got the
true.
power. You got they're as big as anybody as far as metal goes. Like,
Right.
you got everybody knows who you are. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You
Mhm.
can start releasing your own albums and shit.
Right.
So,
It's a
always
good
thought it was
question.
interesting.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to them because I always looked on the website because it's literally like all of them, I guess the models for the clothing.
Yeah.
It's like, and they look so serious.
Did
It's
they
so funny.
they take the old demo?
Oh, they
and
had
McLean
to have by
pictures
now.
off?
I haven't been in that on that site in a while.
I wanted to get one of them big giant like burn my eyes blankets though.
And
It's
dude,
expensive.
I was gonna say they're pricey on that website, man. I don't know who would have thought that shipping out of California is so expensive.
Everything's expensive out there.
Yeah, that's true. So okay, we did Fixation on the Darkness. My Last Serenade is next. I put here number 1, Jesse's writing ability comes to play for me. I thought
What
that
do you mean?
lyrically speaking, I thought that this was the strongest one going into these 4 songs.
I never dug into the lyrics. Jesse's too positive for me for the most part. It's not nothing bad, but it's just Jamie Joss is like this too, but I feel like somehow he kind of pulls it off a little bit better. I like my metal depressed and dark
Gotcha.
and angry.
I gotcha.
That's why I hope he goes full out on this new one.
It's a good point.
Jesus.
Yeah, right there.
I keep burping.
Our friend here has epigastric distress from a pimento sandwich. What do you feel about My Last Serenade other than you like it?
I love it.
You love it. He wants some
Dude,
more
man,
of it.
like this is another one of those chill songs, dude. You're like when I was listening to it in the car, I was singing along with it, and like I kept getting goosebumps on my arms and legs and stuff, dude. And especially when the chorus hits for this one, dude.
Yeah,
It's fucking awesome.
that sing-along ability again.
Yeah.
It's a single for a reason. It had a good formula, I thought, but then again, to elaborate on JD's point, it does go back to the heavy, clean breakdown.
Can I tell you something? You know how you ruined Alice in Chains for me? That one song. The fuck was it? Heaven Beside You.
Yes.
I hate this fucking song.
Yeah.
It's. I think it's just because everybody ruined it for me. Everybody comes back to this song.
Okay.
And it's just I just saw on like that Killswitch fan group, everybody was just changing the lyrics like "This is my last lemonade."
Oh,
Or I was
yeah.
like, oh, okay, I got it.
A lot of
I
that
got
is
it.
red though. Like
He had his fair share.
He did
I'll
have
discuss this with him later.
Yes.
No, it's a good song. It's a good riff, but if I would still give it a 3. I'm not gonna hate too much. I'm kind of ripping on it a little bit, but
Yeah.
even the melody, it's just kind of boring to me. This is my last serenade. I just feel like when he comes back after all this shit goes through, he's so much better at turning like the melodies better, doing a little bit more with them. So
I gotcha.
Like I said,
It's a crowd grabber though, dude.
Yeah.
It is.
Like, you sing this live, everybody's gonna be singing it with you.
yeah.
Gotcha.
I feel like that you could do that within due time too, though. You know what I mean?
True.
But a hit's a hit, no matter what. And like I said, I would still give this a 3. It just, I I'm just past
It's just
it.
outplayed for you.
Yeah.
I do want to mention here that I put on a little note that this is the point of the album for me where I'm like, wow, his clarity for his screams are just really rough.
You can hear it. It really sounds like it's all in his throat, like we were saying earlier.
Yep, and it muffles. And I hate to be that fucking guy. Oh, you can't understand what he's saying. It took me a long time to figure out what the hell he was saying, and maybe it was because I never got into the metalcore
For
thing.
the most
for a
part,
while.
he's pretty clear with what he says. So
That it's your choice, like the way he does it. I'm like, ugh, like come on. But this is the inexperience we're talking about.
yeah, this is yeah.
And it's weird because you think that we all have each
It's
other.
like raw Lamb of God to me.
Exactly.
Like Lamb of God, when they were first out, they were raw.
Yeah,
True.
That's true. Yeah, you listen to anything off of Burn the Priest, and you're like, "What is he saying?" But it fits. I don't know. It's funny because between the three of us, you kind of think like how we would all individually feel. Like it's weird. I was listening to this album. I'm like, I bet you Ivan's gonna dig that. I'm like, oh, Jake's gonna fucking hate that. But like, it's weird, and especially coming from a guy who listens to like thrash and death metal and punk and some really out there kind of shit. I'm going to be complaining about My Last Serenade just because of the way he says it. But these are the things that stuck to me when I first heard it. And it's lasted for 72 years because that's how old I am now.
Yeah, when I first listened to it, like I said, all this stuff, like I really like the singing aspect of everything. Because, I like my melodies and my hooks. So
Yes, you do.
Just over time, it's just I've evolved past it a little bit.
That's true. All right.
I just think they got so much better now. It's hard to say.
Yeah, they're a powerhouse now.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. Life to Lifeless. Ivan, you start this one.
That chorus, dude.
I'm born a girl with sticks. No, I had to do that a little bit, but it's I like this one. It's a good groove, but not to cut you off.
No, that's fine. It's like another one of those things, like the crowd grabber. I mean, like you play this live, everybody's singing that.
It's true. I stood behind Brian Fair in the crowd when they played this at Ozfest 2003. He stunk, man. I love Brian Fair. I respect him.
Dude, they're on tour, man.
They were on tour.
Like everybody.
We met when we met them afterwards. I was like, man, Brian, when are you gonna wash that Celtics jersey? He goes, I know, man. It was rough out there today. Like he was cool about it.
Remember we saw Jada Pinkett?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, she's all natural, man.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't wear my
You
glasses
got
to that
much
show.
time at the show?
We is that where we thought we saw Will Smith?
We did
back?
see Will Smith.
It was confirmed that it was Will Smith, right?
dude.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Nod your head. He was back there.
God, that was so fucking.
That was cool, man. It
I
was.
was like, that whole Ozfest, that was the best point in that show. We'll see Will Smith.
Yeah.
No, that was
Dude, is that Will Smith?
right.
He was back there like,
Behind the amps, you just
Yep.
see this like head just.
He was
bobbing.
totally
It's fucking
respectful
cool.
too. He didn't steal the spotlight or
Yeah.
anything. That was awesome. That was
hanging back.
2005. 2005, because that was Wicked Wisdom. That was like A Dozen Furies,
How
Mastodon.
the fuck do you remember that?
I can't
Steel Trap,
remember. I
man.
can't keep track of which
I
ones were
forgot.
which.
I saw Slayer at Ozfest. That's how much I give a shit.
Yeah, well, they kind of
were on-
blend in.
They were on that the first Ozfest I ever went to.
99.
99.
I know.
And they opened,
your guys'
it
memories
was open,
better than you do.
Yeah, it was open. They were opening for Rob Zombie, and then Rob Zombie opened for Black Sabbath. I think we got there at the end of Godsmack that year.
Yeah. Oh man, that was I was just talking about that album last week. That first one. It's a good one, man.
Godsmack.
Riffs galore, man. But yeah, Life to Lifeless, man. What I had put in here was that it was just a great riff. The only thing is it doesn't go anywhere. Now follow me here. watching wrestling, like after your favorite wrestler won, or like Austin, he stuns whoever and he's drinking the beers, going to each side of the turnbuckle, and the music just keeps playing and playing and playing. That's what this is to me. It reminds me of someone's wrestling music that just doesn't know when to end.
This is a song that does.
Exactly. With as cool as it is, it could have ended right at the 320 mark. It was just the continuity is just the same thing over and over and over again. But doesn't mean I don't like it. I just think that it was just a little bit stretched out.
They do more. They do better with the songs, like taking them on different places.
Exactly.
I would say.
This
one,
stale.
yeah. Like I said, I thought this one had a better melody with it.
Catchy.
It's catchy as fuck.
Yeah. I don't know. Kind of fell flat. This is my first orange. Means I'm not feeling it.
Jeez.
Which brings us into my next one. It's
Jeez.
half orange and half green.
I was
How
wondering
can
what's
this
going
one
on.
be
For
happy?
just barely breathing.
God.
I'll start it since you're calling me out on it. I put in here, it was totally different from the rest of the album. It stands out more. It stands out for me more than just beats per minute. The vocal approach was different. They had that thrash kind of element mixed with that East Coast hardcore, metalcore, whatever you want to call it at that time. The chorus was a little rough for me because it became predictable. It really got me messed up after the first chorus, but it got different for me near the end. The way that it just kind of faded out, I thought was really cool because they really kind of took you on that roller coaster where it was like you thought you kind of got it figured out, but then it's like, no, we're going to completely change it up a little bit here. It reminded me of listening to something on tape back in the day because how the songs just kind of like fade out a little bit and then you don't know where it's going on. That's what it was. And then I also wanted to put in here too, before you guys jump in, is that I remembered that I used to have the Appetite for Destruction tape.
Yes.
And one side was G and the other one was R. And I thought that was real clever.
GNR.
GNR, man. Ivan, jump in, man. Just barely breathing.
It's the choruses, dude. They always catch. You know, they never fail when they do like a singing chorus. It's always, well, with Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even with Howard, their choruses always bang, dude.
Yeah.
I can't say enough about their choruses. And
just really, you kind of almost...
it grabs you, or at least
it,
me,
yeah,
you
it
know?
grabs you. But at the same point, you feel like you kind of become reliant on that, where it becomes Killswitchy. And that's completely fine for the fan that loves Killswitch.
See, that's where I don't care if they have a formula.
Yeah.
If the song's good, it's good. That's why I like Five Finger Death Punch. Their
Right.
songs to me are good.
Mm-hmm.
Is it formulated? Who gives a shit?
You know, I'm kind of envious of you in that respect, where you're not so analytical, where you're like, man, these last couple songs have just kind of been the same fucking thing over and over again. Because you look at each new song as a new experience, whereas like where me and JD will become very like, oh man, it's literally the same thing. What are you talking about? But it does offer something interesting and something
It's
new.
all a different story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of hating on this, and if we were to go back and do Burn My Eyes, I would be rougher on Burn My Eyes. Doesn't mean I don't like it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does.
I just think how better they are at
Like
the
the
riffs
Black
nowadays. Like going to the Blackening, I would take the Blackening. I was like, you can have that shit. I love that album, but I've made my decision. But this one, Self Revolution, is my favorite song on this album. But this is the best written one, as far as I'm concerned.
You're talking about...
For Alive or Just Breathing. That's the name. That's the next one, right?
The
That's
next
the
one
we're
is
on?
To the Sons of Me.
No, I mean like the one we were talking about, because I didn't talk about this one.
Oh, yeah. We didn't. I'm sorry.
I think this is the best written one. It's their most diverse. It's got the most going on. Jesse's kind of doing a few different things. So yeah, I think this is it's why it's called this Live or Just Breathing to me. That's why they named the album after it.
I was going to say, they went into the studio knowing what this album was going to be called based upon this song.
Yeah,
Which is
this is the one that's got some blast beats and shit, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I put that in there.
Yeah, but like when he starts singing "The Skies Weep Tonight," the way he's singing it, it's fucking chills, dude.
Yeah, it's definitely got its own kind of identity to it as far as that chorus goes.
Wait, it fades out,
Definitely.
man. I'll be waiting. I'll give you that as most diverse, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Don't question me.
I'm not. Here we go. This is as orangey as this paper can hold. As much ink as I had
I don't think
in
I
this
have
one.
much after this. I'm just gonna go off of what you guys have.
To the Sons of Man is the worst track off of this
Why do
album,
you
in
say
my
that? Is
opinion.
this isn't the instrumental thing yet.
No.
Okay.
No. Jesse's vocal performance was absolute garbage.
This one's only like 2 minutes, right?
It's only 2 minutes.
And this is the thrashiest. you
The
would say.
threat,
Okay.
if you even dare compare that to, but it's in the done in the style, is like East Coast meets thrash for me.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, his fucking pronunciation was fucking garbage. Like, just for example, the chorus is "From dust to dust, we will return," right? It sounded like someone had like a foot in his mouth. It was like blah 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 blah.
See it?
I don't like it.
It's that technique, man.
I don't like it at all.
It's hard.
And I remember, first time I heard this, I didn't like it. I was like, oh, okay.
I would love to
get
go
something
back and
cracking.
hear these with him like nowadays.
Like redone.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't do it redone, I got to go back and watch some maybe newer vocal
Yeah.
live performances or something.
He in a lot of interviews that he's mentioned before that he hasn't been happy with a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and it seems like we're tearing him apart. And in no way, shape, or form could I even come anywhere near.
It's tough
this.
love.
Tough love. Well, you lock 3 guys in a fucking room and tell them to analyze every
If
single
I was
song.
producing, I'd be like, "This is what you need to work on.
Right.
You can't get better unless you know what the fuck's going on."
Exactly.
But yeah, he's still got the fucking talent.
Yeah. Well, absolutely.
I'm trying not to shit on him.
No, we're not. And that's what it will come across as when we do these
Yeah.
reviews, but we're really not. I mean, you're just no one asked us for our opinion. We're just putting it out there, and you're the fucking sucker listening to it. It's not my fault.
Coming from a bunch of guys that have a bunch of music that have no hits.
Exactly.
We know where we stand.
Right. And shout out to Adam for the whole chorus. I think that was probably the most interesting part. This fire.
I was literally about to
Yeah.
bring that up. Yep. I love that.
That's cool. Adam's got a good singing voice.
He's got that deep death voice too.
He does.
Yeah. I was watching this thing. He was saying, don't enunciate if you're doing like the backup growls, because you're just adding that depth in there where the lead singer's enunciating all that stuff. You're just adding the.
Interesting. I never even would have thought of that.
No, I wouldn't either.
It seems like it makes sense.
That's pretty cool though, man. I never would have thought of that.
About how you said that he was singing when the music's going pretty fast in this one.
It's true.
And he's trying to say all this shit in there, so it's gonna be
From dust we will return. I get that, but it's just literally like when you leave, I want you guys both to listen to this because it just sounds to me like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I was like, come on.
Oh yeah. And there's something else.
Yeah.
This was actually what I was gonna say. I remembered. I recently watched a video where I forget who does it. But it's one of those famous YouTube metal shows.
Okay.
Where they take the artists and they show them people, playing their stuff. And then they did the Killswitch one. It was Jesse and Adam.
Okay.
And they were just watching people cover their stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, I remember
this. They played like a live of themselves playing. And like as Jesse's listening to himself sing, he's like, "Oh, that's terrible."
Oh no. He's humble, you know what I mean? So it's hard to kind of be ripping him, but I mean, it's hard, man.
Yeah.
But like he himself has said that like he doesn't like how he did things in the past.
Well,
Right.
you could do that with everybody. Howard could go back and look at that shit too. I just
don't
don't
know
think he
about
would. There's some shit where Howard was bad. Like God, there was probably when Devil You Know first came out. I remember him being just bigger. He had like the shirt that kind of hung down. He had like his little head on. He looked like the worst I've ever seen Howard. And then like it seemed like the bass player was doing all the singing, and then he would just do this other stuff, but it just didn't seem on point. So to see Howard the way we did the last time we saw him was fucking Jesus.
Just rubbing it in Ivan. We sent as many videos.
You got to
as we
see
could.
the low to appreciate the high.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I'll be honest.
To be honest, anything I've seen Jesse on, I like live. I haven't heard him like struggling or missing anything.
No, he's got it down now. You know, I'll say that Killswitch live DVD. There's a lot of it where Hojo sounded like shit.
Because I think back in the original DVD we were talking about, it's where he's cupping the shit a lot.
Yep, big time.
But
you become
I think
self-reliant.
he still does. No, he holds the bottom of the mic now. Like he's pretty much holding the connector.
Yeah,
When he's doing his screaming.
that's nice.
Jeez.
That's a Chino move.
And it is cool too because he doesn't aim the mic directly. He kind of aims it like past it, like it's aiming toward the ceiling.
Yeah.
So like he's not screaming directly into there. It's like kind of like putting the microphone off axis when you're miking a guitar.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty smart, man. He's got his shit packed down, man.
Yeah, his technique's good.
The singing stuff too, how he pulls the mic away and stuff, like for the higher notes. I always think of Brandon Boyd from Incubus like that.
It took a second for it to like realize like
that.
man,
How do you do wet? Like he like pulls it away, and I was like, oh, I get
Corey's
it.
another one. He'll
Corey does that. Oh, he does. Yeah.
he'll
Corey.
pull it away.
Oh, Corey. CT. What is this one? Temple from Within. I put a green one here. You got anything to say, JD?
Not much.
Not much. What about you, Ivan?
Let me take a look at the lyrics here.
While you're looking, I'll go. I put 80s riff, but updated. So I thought that was kind of cool. I liked the bridge into the chorus. Didn't feel like this one had a script. Dirty bass. Very, very dirty bass.
It's an okay song. I just don't like his chorus on this one.
Yeah.
It's a little too foo-foo.
Too foo-foo?
Too foo-foo.
Put that the second breakdown was better than the first one. It just kind of swung for me. And they faded out again. I was like, oh, I can't say that again about that part.
Yeah,
But-
I don't got much about this one.
Yeah. The element of one.
Oh, wait. Did I do that backwards? Okay, never mind. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Whatever I just said for the last one's for this one.
Okay. So go ahead.
My bad.
How do you feel
Wait,
about the
was the other one Temple from Within?
Temple from
Okay.
Within? Yeah. What do you guys say about it?
Sorry, man. I I like the Temple from Within. It would probably make my top 5 of the album.
Would it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like straight whatever, you know. And
Okay.
then I like the I wanna see what's so.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's my favorite part of this song.
Because it's diverse. It's breaking
Yeah.
the formula. Where you have your Ivans who love the Killswitchy formula, where you're
Yeah.
kind of seeking that
As
something
we
different.
drink our life. That starts with the
Vocally is
That
pretty
is the
sweet.
best part of that
Yeah.
song.
Did we talk about Element of
you
One?
guys are on Element of One.
Element
Yeah.
of One.
I fucked it up.
You fucked it up.
I fucked it
You
up.
fucked it up. What can I say?
Is that the instrumental?
No,
No, it's
this is track 9.
Breathe me in.
Which one's the instrumental?
I think
Without a
it's
Without a
name.
Name? Okay.
Yeah. This one just reminds me of Richie because he always used to really connect with that one. I like how it picks up.
Yeah, that's the best part of the song.
Yeah,
That's why I gotta look at the lyrics because I'm terrible with song titles.
No, okay, because he's like, yeah, I am with you always.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. Don't you have a song later
They do.
that's always?
They do.
Isn't it almost just like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll take always over this one.
And now I can't do it because I have the other one caught in my head. But I'm with you always. No, see, no, never mind. Scratch that.
He's mixing them. He's doing like Ivan made us try to sing something Jolene the other a couple weeks back, and we couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's fucked up, right?
It is. I still can't do it.
Jolene.
That's a good song though. Oh yeah.
Both of them, I guess.
Yeah,
If they
I like
sound the
Jolene.
same.
Dude, I'll fuck with Dolly Parton, man. Like I had it on Spotify a couple
Isn't
of
she
weeks
the one
ago.
Fuck her, or you would fuck with her?
Fuck with her. I
I'd fuck
respect
her
my
while
elders,
listening,
man.
Fucking with her music. Isn't she the one that originally did that? I think it was called Islands in the Stream, and then they used it. Ghetto Superstar, I think.
I think you're right. Yep.
And then there was something else. She did the original I Will Always Love You. God
Mhm.
damn, Dolly.
She did.
I didn't even-
Yep.
Yep. She's been around forever, and she's like super like a good person too. So that was Element One was good. Ivan, you got anything to add to that?
Nah.
Good, because I'm gonna
Not
throw
that
this.
It hasn't already been said.
I'm gonna throw this one at you because I can't pronounce the song title. But how do you pronounce this one?
V Dimfra?
Is that what it is?
I don't know. That's just how I say
I
it.
never knew.
How I
Huh?
I'm not even going to
pronounce it how it looks.
I put this one reminds me of To the Sons of Man. I love me some beef. It was a little beefed up. The blast beats were nice that led into the breakdown. Jesus Christ, this is so cool because I'm thinking about it from Adam's point of view now. That like because he was the drummer on this. That's fucking really impressive. It was clean, man. Fancy drum work. That's what I put on there.
Cool.
Ham. That's all I
Fancy
know. What about you, Ivan? You got anything?
I can't see. It's hard for me because they're all good to me. So
Right.
it's like I can't say. I could say the same thing about every single.
Is this
one?
one?
of these
Is this
songs.
the one that starts with the bass, or is that the last one?
That's the last one.
Last.
It's
Okay.
Rise Inside.
I don't remember anything off of this one.
Off of Rise Inside? Well, Without a Name is the pretty intro,
Wait,
essentially.
are you talking about
Because I'm talking about Vida
Via
Infra.
Inferno?
Yeah.
Infra? Infra?
I don't
Yeah,
know
see,
any-
I don't even know how to say it.
If you'd asked me this yesterday, I'd be like, I don't know that song. But I'm like, oh, okay.
I probably heard it, driving around with Red.
Yeah. Red and Ivan, man. Now JD remembers it, thanks to Ivan playing it for him.
The judgment. will be
So,
passed on me.
Yeah, it's cool. It was a little beefy. You
Nothing
know?
ever took away from it, I guess.
No?
There's another one. They're quickie.
Yep. Quickie right to it. Without a Name.
I got nothing.
Nothing? That was pretty.
Without an opinion should be mine.
I think that they could have just put this in with Rise Inside because it flawlessly fades into the last track.
Does that bother you when people do that? Make
Yeah,
it
but
two
this
separate
one-
tracks?
Uh-huh. Suicide Note Part 1 and Part 2 really upset me.
Hold on.
But then you don't want to get... You don't have to wait 4 minutes to get to the fast part.
This is why
true.
it goes where it's at because it does fade into there. It goes into the next song.
Right. But I'm saying you could still have had that as one song, though.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
I misunderstood you.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying have this in a different place.
Oh, no. Like, this could have
My
been
bad.
one. No, it's all good,
Gotcha.
man. It's all good.
Gotcha.
Because
Gotcha.
they do that with a couple songs on Heartache.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
I like those better on Heartache.
You just like that album better.
They probably split it because Rise Inside is already like almost 6 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's up there, ain't it? I don't know. It was a great closer. What is since you don't have anything to say about this one, do you?
No, I don't.
Ivan, what do you think is the one thing I'm going to say about this one that I liked a lot?
Time has come to make a difference. And it's like, it's Killswitch, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like
let's all be one,
Yeah.
Let's make a change. All that stuff.
It's the timing.
For you?
Like it just slowly goes. It's like a machine starting up with this one. That's what I love about it, and it's flawless too as far as the music goes. Man, I dug it a lot.
Is this one of your top ones on here?
Yeah, I would definitely say Rise Inside, Temple from Within, and Self Revolution. I think those are my top 3 for sure.
The hits off of this are my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fixation, My Last Serenade, Just Barely Breathing. Yeah,
I remember at the time when Howard took over that they were talking about re-recording it with Howard. And I don't know if they ever did it.
I don't know.
But
they
it'd be
did
interesting.
The one song for his tryout and shit like that they released.
Which one was that? Fixation on the Darkness then? Yeah.
Yep.
So that's probably what I remember.
Okay. My big thing about this album is if I'm wearing headphones, and I didn't notice this until I listened to it today, I want my drum sound to be as if I were sitting at the kit. So you would have your ride on the right, and then your hi-hats on the left.
Yeah.
And like typically, I don't know if it's the splash or the crash, will be like kind of off center to the
Say
right.
like 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
2 o'clock-ish.
Yeah. This whole album was fucking backwards. I had my hi-hat in my
Is he
right
left-handed?
I was just going
He
to
was
ask you
drumming?
that.
No.
Adam's not
For
left-handed?
some reason, I feel like I
But-
pictured him doing it left-handed.
But at least not to my knowledge. I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe he ain't. I don't know. But Fixation with Howard, it's swapped the way I like it. And I had to go back between the two. And even the demo with Jesse was correct. But the whole album is fucking backwards to me. The way I don't like it. Because it was bugging my ears. Because, when they're writing the splash
Right.
and if it's in my left ear, it doesn't sit well with me.
What can we say that hasn't been said about this? Does anybody else have anything to throw in?
I feel like I had something, but well, that's gone. No, it's a good first step. That's all. You know, for me, Killswitch is hit or miss because unlike Ivan, for some reason the formula with these guys bothered me. And maybe it's just because I know they're so much better and they can do much more.
Right.
But I'm not entirely sold on the new song yet. I do think Jesse sounds great. I know what they can do. It's like a 50-50 for me.
I get that.
Daylight Die. I didn't like Incarnate. I was half in with Disarm to Descent. So
Oh man, I love those.
Yeah, did you?
God,
So
I was like, Jesse's back.
What's your final score there, JD?
I feel like it was a 6.5, but I'm gonna give it 7 because it's still
solid
good.
7?
Yeah, I'll give it a 7 because it's not bad.
Okay, Ivan?
I'd have to give it a 7 too because of all the new shit they got, and I like it.
This is interesting that you both had labeled it as a 7.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I do. But even back then, I probably would have put it as a 7.
Holy shit. I put it as 8.2
Really?
after re-listening to it again. Because originally, I thought I was going to go for like a C average, basically, right? I sat down and actually I listened to it all the way through. There are a lot of strong selling points in it, but it's weird. And that's the Animal effect. I don't have to make any sense because I never do with these reviews. But I think there's more good than bad, but there's that. You're making a fucking gumbo, right? You got the fucking oak. What? You don't like gumbo? You got the okra. You got your base. It just depends on what you put in is going to change the effect of it. Like as Daylight Dies, man, they burn the shit out of that gumbo. End of Heartache, it was a real nice seafood kind of gumbo. This was like a decent gumbo that you would probably get.
So when you're first learning how to make gumbo?
Exactly. It's good. You're proud of yourself. You've actually made the gumbo. You took that fucking step. None of y'all friends made any other gumbo that are playing in their fucking basement still, right?
Yeah.
This is our gumbo. It's a humble gumbo.
Humble gumbo.
8.2.
I think we found the name of this episode.
Humble gumbo, bitches.
I don't know. I feel like I could, if I were to kind of go back and forth between this and Heartache, I think I could show you what I appreciate more and what I do like preference wise compared to this. But yeah, like I said, how much can you really say? Like, we're being kind of a little over analytical and kind of criticizing a little bit more, but it's like it was the first step, though.
Yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I mean? So everything I say comes with a grain of salt. I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
Yeah, I gave it a 7 purely on the entire catalog.
I get you.
You know what I mean?
That's an interesting way to look
yeah.
at it that way. Drink up, Billy. You're the weakest. I don't know. Well, that's cool. I hope you guys dug our retro review. I think we're kind of in the midst of probably doing an End of Heartache eventually down the road. I think that'd be fun, you know.
Yeah. We got some other ones we had to hit up too. We got some Throwdown we got to go back to, some old Chimera.
Yep.
And Machine Head, obviously, we got to go back to.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And eventually, we could do some album ranks here and there. But yeah, we're going to look out for more of these, some retro reviews.
If any of you guys out there, all 6 of you listening right now, if you guys have any suggestions, hit us up, wastedattention@gmail.com.
We should if people have some that we haven't heard of before, like all of us are kind of like missed out on, that'd be cool to kind of check
for
out.
sure. Yeah. Until someone's like, hey, dude, check out Biohazard.
And then we're all like, this is all shit.
Exactly.
Not Biohazard. I never heard of it. I heard of Biohazard. I just haven't listened to them.
They're tough guy stuff. I like them, you know, but yeah, seriously, if you guys want to throw any suggestions, you can find us on Facebook, wastedattention.com. We have an Instagram that Red really hasn't kept up with because he's out busy riding his motorcycle. But we'll talk more about that. On every episode till we get Red, we were going to talk about this motorcycle, okay? We're going to upload a picture of him on this motorcycle. But yes, and as we have said before, if you've got a bone to pick, if you disagree with something, if you agree with something, shoot us an email. We'll read your email on the air.
Or comment.
Or comment anything.
Corrections, omissions at wastedattention@gmail. And then Apple Podcast, rate and review. What we're on a bunch of other shit. Anchor kind of sends us off to everywhere, so hit us up on everything. Stitcher, a bunch of other ones I don't know the fucking names of, but they seem to be pretty popular.
Yeah.
Google Podcast.
We appreciate.
If you find us, just put a like.
SoundCloud, wherever you fucking find it.
We appreciate the likes
YouTube,
on SoundCloud.
likes, comments.
This is YouTube.
We got
subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell.
Yes.
We got 6 little likes on our last SoundCloud, which is more than we've had, and we got a couple more subscribers too.
You know what's weird? Some of those we have more likes than fucking plays.
Huh.
You see that shit?
Yeah.
That's how I know it's weird. So please help us.
Seriously though.
Hey, that's all I got, man.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Have a good one.
Bye.